listening to Tapped In, Buncombe County's half hour to empower on WRES 100.7 FM in Asheville. Listen up and get tapped into local important resources, information, and topics. Learn more about the topics of today's show at buncombecounty.org. Okay, it's time to get tapped in.
Hello, hello, hello. And if you hear my voice, you know it's that time of day. It is ZaKiya Bell Rogers, and we're about to get tapped in. And my co-host is?
And I'm Leonard Jones.
And Leonard and I come to you from the Communications and Public Engagement Department of Buncombe County, where real heroes wear cape.
Joining us today are two guests from Buncombe County's Recreational Service, Mac Stanely, as well as Mac Dixon. We understand that the holidays are quickly approaching, and we are at the end of the fall leaf season. However, we want to inform the community about some exciting upcoming events and various things about Buncombe County's recreational services. Welcome, Mac and Mac.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, welcome. And we're going to try our best not to, that's Mac with a C and Matt with a T. So we're going to try to make sure we say the last letter and not be too Southern today. So tell us a little about yourself. And so I'm going to go Matt, and go ahead and go first.
All right, yeah, so I'm Matt Dixon. I'm a park manager at Lake Julian Park. Been with Parks and Recreation for going on 7 years now. And we're excited about moving into the winter season, talking about programming and what we have to offer for the community.
All right, Mac.
Sure. And I am Mac Stanley. I'm a program coordinator for Buncombe County Parks and Recreation, and I do come up with programs for the community, and then also am the local coordinator for our Special Olympics program here in Buncombe County.
Oh, wow. Well, we'll hear more about that. And if you all have noticed, this is the end of the beef season, and as they're falling to the ground, so is the weather. So it is a little chilly out there right now, and guess what that means? It means Festival of Lights at Lake Julian. You know, when the wind is quicker around your neck than your scarf, you know it's that time. So tell us about the Festival of Lights.
That's good.
Yeah, so it's a holiday light show that we put on at Lake Julian Park every year. It's been going on 24 years.
Wow.
Yeah, and every year we try to grow it, switch it up, keep it fresh. So it runs from December 4th to the 23rd. The 2 nights before that, so the 2nd and the 3rd, we do a walkthrough night. Kind of get to see the lights up close and personal. We have s'mores, we have activities and crafts. We have music playing through the park. And then the drive-through nights run from the 4th to the 23rd, from 6 to 9.
So are there what's the cost associated with these?
So for the walkthrough nights, it's $5 for anybody 16 or older. Kids are free. There's parking over at Estes Elementary, and you walk into the park from there. And then for the drive-through nights, we have 3 different prices. There's $10 for a regular passenger car, $25 for a 15 passenger a church van,
Okay.
and then $50 for a coach bus, like a young tour bus.
Yeah.
So those are the only prices we have involved. The walk through all the activities and s'mores and everything that's included with when you get into the park.
Y'all can get a Young's bus through that park?
Yeah, it's tight, but we make it work. When we put up the lights, we try to plan to make sure nothing's in the way of those big ones.
Yeah, when you said the church van, I always think about the Gibbons Estate.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because they come out to a lot of things, and they bring their folks in that van, so I can just see them
Oh, absolutely.
Rolling through. So yeah, I think that's awesome. So you said this has been going for 24 years. So we're talking about 1999. Who came up with this idea? Where did it come from?
It came from the previous park manager at Lake Julian, David Blint. I think it was kind of an idea of his, and then obviously the department, we work really well together, always have. So every year we've grown it, no matter who's kind of at the helm. It's all kind of all hands on deck, and we all work together to make sure it's as good of an event as it can be. But yeah, it's grown. like I said, exponentially every year. It's every year and with the lights, we try to add new lights every year. We try to move stuff around where nothing's the same. And we take a lot of pride in it being like a local light show that we put on for the community. So there's a lot of pride across the whole department about it.
So did you all add anything new this year, or do you want to keep it a secret?
Well, we did. We can keep it a secret. We added about 14 new pieces.
Oh.
We're kind of at a point now where we got a lot of old ones that we're starting to kind of phase out.
Mm-hmm.
We phased out a couple last year, and we'll phase out a couple more this year, and just kind of keep them. You know, 'cause storage is limited, and you know, there's some that just don't work anymore that we need to start phasing out. So that's an exciting thing to keep it fresh, and you know, for a long time it was just building every year and not getting rid of anything. And now we've kind of gotten to the point where we've built to what we can handle, and now we can start getting new ones in there. Which yeah,
is anything set to like music or
no,
like,
not yet.
Okay.
We've talked about that. It requires a lot of infrastructure that we just don't have right now. We're working on that. We've got some RGB trees that we've added in the last couple years that are a little more, you can set those to different programs.
Okay.
But everything else is kind of, they're animated, but it's just based on plugging in right now.
Well, you know, you can always just hook up the Christmas season playlist on Spotify. Play it over a speaker.
Oh, yeah.
If you want to, because on Spotify you can also hear Buncombe County Tapped In. So if you want to play that as well as, you know, when they're going through, they can hear almost 2 years of Tapped In as well as they go through and see the lights. So you know, the cost, and people always want to know, well, why it costs. You know, this is a park. What does that cost help support?
So the big thing, and I'll pass it over to Mac here, it's 20% of the money that we get goes straight to Buncombe County Special Olympics.
Wow.
The rest of that money goes into the light show. So it just turns into us buying more things for next year, new lights, new safety aspects, getting rid of these old ones, getting new ones in. So it's you know, it's fully Special Olympics and the light show. And Mac's got a lot more about what they can use that money with for the Special Olympics.
Yeah, definitely. So we've actually been doing Special Olympics here in Buncombe County for over 30 years. So we act as like the local coordinator for that program and get a lot of stuff from the state coming to us. But that 20% of the funds go back to that program, and we use that for various things, you know, uniforms for our year-round athletes, equipment for our year-round athletes, and transportation for when we take them to tournaments and invitationals and stuff like that.
Now you said year-round athletes, so what sports are year-round? Or do they have or are they a participant in multiple sports and so that makes them year-round?
So they are, it's kind of both, I would say. So we do have year-round sports. We've got, right now our fall sports are soccer, bocce, and tennis. In the winter we've got alpine, snowboard, and skiing, and we also have a cheerleading program. And then in the spring we have a huge Special Olympics spring games, and we involve like all the Buncombe County schools, all the Asheville City schools to bring out their athletes to kind of participate in a big track and field day out at TC Robertson. And then in the summer we have, there's a lot. So in the summer we've got gymnastics, bowling, swimming, and I know I'm leaving one out off the top of my head.
But I did have a question. You said alpine. What is that exactly?
So it's alpine's just a name for it. It's just like snowboard and skiing.
Oh,
Okay,
that's cool.
okay. So there, wait a minute. So we're gonna go back there because it's cold. We're gonna talk about cold stuff.
Go for it.
So they are doing snowboarding, skiing. What you said just.
And then we'll have basketball. I forgot, I left out basketball. We'll have basketball in the winter as well. And then our cheerleading program.
Cheerleading program.
Yes,
oh
ma'am.
my gosh, that is so cool. So the Special Olympics, it touches so many different areas so that our folks can participate in those. So.
And that's all ages, correct?
Yeah, so all ages. You know, if anybody wants to come out, they can send us an email and check in. So
Cool.
and we will. Most of our athletes compete in all all those sports. They're
Yeah.
not just like
Yeah.
tied to one sport. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. And can you tell us more about like the partnership with them? Is there any other program that you all do in the county that helps sponsor those programs?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I know that Festival of Lights is the big,
The big
the
sponsor.
big
Yeah.
sponsor of that. Obviously us as Buncombe
Mhm.
County Parks and Recreation, and it's all volunteer based and fundraising based. And so us as like myself and my other coworker Lynn, we like volunteer our time to Special Olympics being local coordinators.
So you said volunteer.
Mhm.
So how can, if folks are listening to this and they see this, how can they volunteer?
Yeah, we love volunteers. We encourage everybody to reach out. But there are a couple things that we have to do mandated by the state.
Mhm.
So you have to fill out a volunteer screening form, and it's just like a background check and all that.
Yeah.
And then if you are interested, you can reach out to us at parks@buncombecounty.org, and we'll get you that information.
And how about if we have a loved one that could benefit and potentially be a participant in Special Olympics? How do we sign them up?
So same thing, shoot us email, parks@buncombecounty.org. For an athlete, they kind of need to do a couple different things. So they'll have to go get a physical and let the doctor sign off on letting them be able to participate in the sport.
Are there any fees associated with that?
There are not any fees associated with it.
Cool.
That's awesome. That is so awesome. So how long have you been involved in this program?
So I've been working for our department for about 6 years, and I've been I've been involved with Special Olympics since I've been here, but I just recently became the local coordinator last fall, and then Lynn Pegg is the co-local coordinator.
Okay.
Yep.
So I bet that's such a great feeling, like participating and being able to coordinate all those things.
It's super fun. It's a little stressful at times, but it is very, very fun.
Okay, so got a question. So the details that we talked about, we're gonna go back to on the Festival of Lights, and also the fees, so that you can support the Special Olympics as well. So the pricing and admission, like if you're walking in, like is it a family group rate, or like how does that work?
So specifically for the walkthroughs, it is $5 a person, 16 and up, but underneath 16 you get in free. For the drive-throughs, that is per vehicle.
Okay.
So it's not $10 for each person in the car. It's just $10 for the vehicle, and you can fit however many people you want cram in a car.
So what is the difference experience for either one, for the drive-through and the walkthrough?
I don't want to steal your thunder.
Oh, no. Thunder's all right.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Matt, come on, let it rain. Give us the information.
I would say, the difference is, at the beginning of the year, a walkthrough. It's a good way to take some time in the park. We have the playground lit up, so it's kind of a way to be in the park at dark, see all the lights. Some good photo ops. You can get up close to close to the fixtures, get pictures with the family. We also have photo ops that we've built throughout the park. We'll have our Kate person, Catalina. She'll be there doing pictures and stuff for the walkthrough nights. So I would say the experience is just a little closer up and a slower look. Take your time, walk around, have a s'more, sit by the fire. And then, drive through, it's a good one too, because you get to sit in the car with heat on and, take your time looking at the lights. We have a kettle corn vendor that sells kettle corn through the whole drive through show, so you can come in and grab a bag of kettle corn and listen to music in the car in the heat. So, to each his own. I really love the walkthroughs. I think it's a good way to kind of, see people in there. After we set them up for a month and a half, it's like, it's nice to see the people in there. The cars, you lose that personal touch a little bit, but either way, to each his own. You're gonna get to see the lights, and come out a couple times.
Can they take pictures?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
So you had mentioned s'mores and some kettle corn. What's some other amenities that you can, food or things like that people can expect as they go through the Festival of Lights?
For the walkthrough nights, we'll have our kettle corn vendor, and then we typically try to have a drink vendor, hot chocolate, coffee. It's it's a matter of getting those nailed down. We kind of Kettle Corn. She's been there. We know her. She's coming. The other ones, so on the walkthroughs we try to have the hot chocolate and coffee. We should. And all of that info will be out as we get closer. If when we get an official vendor for that stuff.
You know what? And that just to make a plug, because we're always getting folks out there to come in and do things. If you are looking for an idea to start a new business, seasonal drinks.
Absolutely.
You can do Festival of Lights in the summer. You can do ice drinks and things of that nature.
There's a market.
There's a market for it, so I hope you all are hearing that, because in January we'll be talking to procurement, so you all can get all that information that you need. But that would be a great plug-in for someone who's out there who specializes in making seasonal drinks and that type of thing.
I do have another question around the drive-through portion. Is it like a limit speed, or you go at your own pace, or is it kind of they kind of keep it moving, keep it moving?
That's a good question. On a busy night, it's a slow one. Just by you can only go as quick as the person in front of you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lake Julian's a one-way road through the whole park, so there's really no passing or anything. But you by no means are you in a rush. If you were in there by yourself, you can take your time. Go as slow as you want. We do ask nobody stops and gets out just for safety.
Yeah.
If nobody's in there, we don't have anything lit up. But as far as staying in your car and taking your time, take all the time you want.
And what was those hours of operations again?
The walkthrough nights run from 6 to 8, and then the drive-through nights are 6 to 9.
Okay. And so you said 6 to 8 and 6 to 9. So are there special days? Will they know which
so the walkthroughs are only the first 2 nights.
Oh, okay.
December 2nd and 3rd.
Okay.
And then December 4th we start drive-throughs, and they stay drive-through all the way through the 20th.
Yeah. So we understand that the drive-through is not Fast and the Furious.
Yes.
It is the speed limit and the curious.
Yeah.
So making sure everybody get that. So if you're letting your lead-foot teenager drive, then you want to be on the passenger side of this trip. So during the daytime, or I want okay, I'm trying to frame this. We have a lot of Christmas outings and things of that nature. If you're wanting to take your group of coworkers or team, that would be a good idea. Would you say that would be a good outing, just for a group of adults who are working together, just to talk and get things going or something like that?
Yeah, to come to one of the shows.
Yeah,
absolutely. The walkthroughs, you're welcome to hang out at a picnic table and eat your s'mores and talk and hang out. It's a very, very relaxed atmosphere of just coming in and hanging out in the park. It's a little different than hanging out in the park in the middle of June, hanging out in the park in the middle of December with lights up, but absolutely.
Now you said s'mores 8 times. So are these gourmet s'mores?
They're as gourmet as you can make them.
Okay.
What we do is we pre-make a bunch of bags with graham crackers, chocolate, marshmallow. We hand you the bag, and you are the chef. So you have creative license. So you be as gourmet as you want with your s'mores.
So y'all have a flame up there?
Yeah, we've got a couple. We have three fire pits,
Okay.
and we'll have 2 park staff that kind of man the fire pits, make sure they're still running, make sure the s'mores are going, and making sure nobody's poking each other with s'more sticks. So it's like I said, it's very laid back, very very relaxed. It's a good time.
So we know it's in December when we have the Festival of Lights, and they run from 6 to 8 or 6 to 9. What happens during the park during the daytime?
Park is still open, normal business hours.
Okay.
We actually, not normal business, we actually close the park at 5 in December, just Lake Julian, just because the show starts at 6, so it gives us time to get everybody out, we'll turn the lights on, make sure everything's good, and then start the show. But it's park's open like normal. Plenty of people still come out and fish, launch their own boats. Even in the cold, there's people out there that are kayak fishing and launching their boats and spending time on the water, hanging out at the playground.
So you said you talked about boating.
Mhm.
The pontoon boats rise. Are they still available during December?
No, we stopped them in October. We kind of stopped them with the demand. Demand just kind of goes down. And then going into next year, all of those things will be on our new website. We have a new website. And so signing up for pontoon rides and everything will be different next year. You used to call the office, but now you can just go to our website and reserve those when we reopen.
So all of those things are those what are the little paddle boats? Are they still available?
They are.
Okay. Yeah, and I personally would not get on my boat because I don't have my legs from 1998. But if you were just wanting some crisp air and wanting to be on the lake, it's perfect for that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, are there any new ordinance signs or anything for the parks?
So we actually just got some new ordinance signs made and put up probably about 3 or 4 months ago.
Okay.
So that's got all our new ordinances on them. It also has a QR code on there that you can scan that will translate it into multiple languages.
Okay. So look for those new ordinance signs.
yeah.
Make sure you're in compliance.
Oh yeah, please.
Yeah. So is there anything that we've missed that we need to plug into?
I don't think so. You can always stay up to date with whatever Buncombe County Parks and Recreation is doing, and just on social media. So our Facebook pages, our Instagram page, and we're starting to get more stuff out there.
Yeah. So you all are tapping more into social media and putting your things out there.
Yes.
Awesome. Also, we were talking about the Lake Julian closing at 5. What time can people start arriving?
It's a gray area.
Ideally, you would show up around 6, just because honestly, it's not dark enough. 5:45. It's still kind of light out, and you really want it to be dark for the lights. But people definitely get there before.
But I want to be first.
Yes, absolutely. And and if we're ready to open up the gate, we'll go ahead and open it up. But just it starts at 6. It's by no means a hard start at 6. It's if it's a little early and we're ready and there's a line, we'll open it up. But I would recommend 6 o'clock, just because it's good and dark by then.
Yeah, it kind of dampens the experience if you go through there and it's still light outside.
Yeah.
So I know we've just been talking about the Festival of Lights, but just for our listeners today, what are some of the other parts that Parks and Rec offer for the community?
And so we have multiple parts in our discography. I guess that's not the word. That's the wrong word. In our portfolio. So Lake Julian is one of our biggest, the Buncombe County Sports Park in Inca Candler area. That's a big one. It's got soccer fields.
And they just got new turf, right?
We did just get new turf and new lights. And then we've got a dog park out there, a nice playground. And then Charles D. Owen Park is another one of our big ones out in Swananoa. It's got 2 ponds that you can fish at year round. It's got a walking trail, playground, 2 shelters. And then pretty much everything else is a little on the smaller scale.
More passive.
Passive.
River parks, nature preserve, Concord Cove Nature Preserve, but a lot of river parks, for river access, picnic areas, the more passive recreation areas.
Correct.
And are the times for those parks the same as Lake Julian? You mentioned close at 5 during the winter.
They won't close at 5.
Only Lake Julian closes at 5. Everything else still closes at dark. So
At dark,
6
okay.
o'clock is what we deem dark in December is 6.
Okay.
Lake Julian's just that special case because of the light show.
The light show.
So the parks basically have the mother rule. When the lights turn on, you need to go home. Don't let the street light catch you. So Buncombe County Parks. So,
That's a tagline right there.
So, I mean, and it's so great because folks, they're always looking for something to do, and people are always, even if you don't have a dog, I would say go to the dog park at least once, just to watch all the other dogs because they're hilarious. They're kind of because the dog was like, it's grass, it's other dogs, the smells. So it's like really awesome. And I like Owen Park because we usually have our employee family fest there, and they have ducks. They're ducks and geese, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? They're kind of scary at first. Like they kind of approach you, and like they greet you when you come in. They're like, "Hi," and all you do is put your hands up. I don't have food, and they walk away.
Exactly.
And so, where are our ducks and geese and all those things during the Festival of Lights?
They're still there.
They're still there.
They're still there.
They're still there for sure.
Yeah.
It's funny if you not that you should, but I've spent time at the park after hours because we're working, and it's funny how much they're not in the park. They they go out on the water. They kind of go away from the park. They're only there in the park when there's people there to feed them.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's a lot of times they're out on the water at night or they're away from that main area.
Yeah.
So especially during December, they're probably like, stay away from all these people driving through.
I know.
Yeah.
And I'm probably like, maybe we're gonna drop a bag of kettle corn.
Yeah.
Come and get it in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're almost at time to wrap up, so I'm going to give each one of you all just a second to plug in some information to our community or something that you really want to tell. So I'm going to start with Mac.
Okay.
What
cool.
to say?
For sure. So we're actually growing our department right now, and that's allowing us to do a ton of more programming things. So I would just encourage everyone to, like I said before, just stay up to date with us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, because we have a lot of exciting stuff coming up in the next year.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I would absolutely second that. I would say it's an exciting time for Buncombe County Parks and Recreation. We are doing a lot that we haven't been able to do with new leadership and just new bodies in the department. So stay in tune with us. We have a new website that you can go to buncombecounty.org, and there's a new button at the top that says reserve and register. If you click onto that, it'll take you to our website through ActiveNet. It's got all of our activities and everything for 2024 will be built in. We're building all that in right now. But when 2024 hits, we're ready to hit the ground running with a new website, new registration, new communications person, like I mentioned, Catalina. So we've got a lot of exciting things. I think we're all pumped for 2024 to kind of get into this new era and keep growing.
All right, Leonard.
And I'd just like to remind the community that we realize that the holiday season is coming, and it has gotten cold. It was 70 degrees last week and feel like 40 degrees today. But there are opportunities here with Buncombe County's recreational service, and hopefully families can get out and just enjoy some of that organic homegrown fun at the Festival of Lights at Lake Julian. We just want to remind community that the dates of this event is December the 2nd and 3rd will be walkthrough nights, and that's $5 per person. Unless you're a kid under 16, it's free, so you can have a good family fun day at the park. But the remainder of the season, I believe the 4th to the 23rd is the drive-through, and again, those prices at $10 for a regular passenger car, $25 for a van, and then $50 for buses if you're looking for opportunity. And again, those run from 6 to 8 for the walk-in nights and 6 to 9 for the drive-through. And this all goes to a good cause. And so all the 20% of the funds will go towards Special Olympics here in Buncombe County. So have a great way to enjoy family time and also support a local organization and other community members.
All right, thank you. And that was Professor Jones, if you did not realize who that was. And I always like to give a message to our community because we are one Buncombe, and I want all of us to remember that this is the time of year where we start to be thankful for things, and we want to celebrate and gather with our family and friends. And today we heard about a Festival of Lights. And oftentimes we think about lights as something that leads us out of darkness or brightens up a room. And so as we are marching towards 2024, isn't that strange? 2024. Use this opportunity to drive through the Festival of Lights and give each light something that you achieved during this year. And the last light at the very end, give something that you want to achieve in 2024. Make this not only a family fun trip, but make it a trip about what you want to do to better your community and yourself. We know at the end of the year we make all these plans and ideas for everybody else and everyone, every other organization. But I want you to take this time to make sure you're giving something back to yourself, because without you, there is no us. So we need everyone to take care of themselves, be joyful, be healthy, be happy. Only eat 2 pieces of pumpkin pie or sweet potato pie, or whatever you do. Go see the Festival of Lights and keep in touch with us. We are One Buncombe, and you have been tapped in.
Thank you for listening to Tapped In, Buncombe County's half hour to empower, here on WRES 100.7 FM in Nashville. Learn more about today's topics at buncombecounty.org. Otherwise, stay tuned for more great episodes coming up.